Welcome to the Change Your Life podcast. My name is Gareth Hall. Just a couple of little things before I start. The first thing is I'm not a medical professional. I have no official training or qualifications. The things that you hear in these videos are purely opinion based only and based on my own experiences. The second thing is there may be some bad language in these videos. I can't help it. It's just my personality. I don't want to start off pretending to be somebody that I'm not. So if you are offended by bad language, apologise. So this is the first episode, and today I want to talk about people who actually don't have mental health issues, and the video is entitled "What the fuck do you have to be depressed about?" Now, the reason that I've decided to talk about this is because it's a question, or not so much a question, it's a phrase that I've heard bound around quite a lot, especially directed at myself, usually by people who either feel they haven't experienced mental health issues for themselves, or perhaps they don't understand it. So using myself as an example, I'm very, very fortunate. I'm very lucky in my life. I have a very nice life. I have a beautiful wife who's very supportive. We have a very strong marriage. I have 5 incredible kids who are happy and healthy, and I have I earn good money. I live in a nice house. I drive a nice car. On the surface, if you're on the outside looking into my life, you're probably thinking, my gosh, he's got an incredible life. What the fuck has he got to be depressed about? And I think more often than not, it's quite easy to assume a person's mental state based on their sort of how their life looks from the outside. So I'm going to try and unpack for me how kind of the depressive state maybe feels, and sort of try to help you understand it a little bit better, and then maybe to talk about how we could approach people who are experiencing mental health issues a little bit differently. So let's say, for an example, you are out with friends or family doing something incredibly fun, okay? It's a beautiful day, the sun is shining, there's a real buzz in the air, you're feeling really good, really happy, all of the good chemicals are flowing. And then in the midst of all of this, out of nowhere, you receive a text message that simply says, "We need to talk," okay? Now, more often than not, this is going to get your mind racing. You're going to start to think, what does this person need to talk about? What's happened? Is there something I've said? Is there something I've done? You're going to start to create scenarios and outcomes in your mind that may not even come true. And this is going to sort of get away with you. And when these thoughts are manifested, it sends a signal to your body to release certain chemicals to prepare for whatever situation you may find yourself in. Now, in this situation, it's probably going to release things like adrenaline. And when these chemicals are released, it has a physical manifestation. So, in this particular situation, you may find that your heart starts to race. You have a sickening feeling or a pit in your stomach, your palms are getting sweaty, and all of a sudden, your mind is no longer focused on all of the good things that are going on around you. It's solely focused on, oh my gosh, what on earth could this person possibly want to talk to me about? And you're no longer aware of all of the good things and the good feelings. They have just been replaced by feelings of panic and dread, worry, anxiety, so on and so forth. That, for me, is how it feels when I am in a depressive slump. Except there's no text message, okay? There's no rhyme or reason behind it. It's just how I feel. For some reason, my body is releasing these chemicals, and it's having this physical manifestation, and physically makes me feel this completely shit way. And because I feel that shit way, then my mind starts to produce negative thoughts, and those negative thoughts produce more chemicals, and I have a worse feeling, and then it's just like a vicious circle. And so often I will say to my wife, like, I'm in this place and I don't know how to get out of it. And more often than not, I'm actually screaming at her to just pull me out already, like I'm fucked, and that is not within my control. okay? It's not something that I choose to feel. It's not something that I volunteer myself for. It just happens, and when it happens, I can assure you, it's just as bad for me as it is for you on the outside watching me act this way, okay? So, how do people approach this? More often than not, pretty badly. I mean, I'm going to give you another example of how I feel mental health is approached, how ridiculous it seems, and perhaps how it should be approached. So, let's say you have a friend or a relative who is a real fitness freak, okay? They exercise regularly, they eat immaculately, perhaps they don't smoke, perhaps they don't drink. They are obviously have a great physique, they're fit and healthy, they're bubbly, they're lively, they've got loads of energy, and they get diagnosed with cancer, okay? And they come to you and they say, I have been diagnosed with cancer, okay? Do you say to them, no you haven't, don't be so ridiculous, look at you, look at your lifestyle, I mean, you're fit, you're healthy, you eat immaculately, you drink plenty of water, you don't drink alcohol, you don't smoke, you don't do drugs, you do all of this sort of positive stuff, you're always full of energy, you look great, of course you haven't got cancer. Is that person going to go, oh yeah, you got a point, Christ, the experts must have all had it wrong, all those blood tests and scans that I've had and biopsies, that's obviously they've got it wrong, you're right, I'm fit and healthy, I'm a health freak, you can't possibly. No, that wouldn't fucking happen, would it? You'd say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, is there anything I can do to help? Why then, when a person says, I have depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, or whatever else, why are people looking and going, fuck have you got to be depressed about? Your life is good. Like, come on, man, pull yourself together. Don't be so fucking ridiculous, Oh, it's an excuse to get off work. It's ridiculous, Mental health issues need to be treated with the same level of respect and empathy and sympathy and understanding as any other medical illness, right? You can't see cancer, but you know that it's there because a medical professional has told you that it's there. You can't see depression, but you know that it's there because a medical professional has told you that it's there. So why then is it seen as less important? People don't understand cancer. There's no cure for cancer. That's how wildly they don't understand cancer. It can be treated. And, people can go into remission, and that's amazing. But actually, quite, on a large scale, the experts don't understand cancer. People don't understand depression. They don't understand anxiety. They don't understand mental health issues. But when you make a comment like, what the fuck does that person have to be depressed about? Do you know what you actually do? You invalidate that person's feelings. You make it not okay. Like, they don't deserve to feel like that. Makes them feel like shit, okay? And this means that it's just like they're going to fall further and further into the pit. And actually, this is, I think, largely why people feel that they can't talk about their mental health issues openly, because if they try to, nobody will ever take them seriously. I really think we need to work to change the stigma around mental health. I mean, work harder. I know that there's loads of stuff out there and loads of people are kind of working towards breaking the stigma, but I just don't know if enough is being done. I mean, I know of people who have lost their battle with depression because they just felt that was the only option. And I mean, for me personally, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. We're all very good at sort of posting positive stuff on social media, how great our lives are, and then completely falling apart in the background. And I think probably most people do that. Almost everybody only posts the good parts of their lives on social media. So everybody's kind of experienced the similar thing. But actually for some, it's not just about pretending to be somebody on social media and then falling apart a bit in the background. It's just falling apart all the time and feeling like there's just nowhere that they can go and no one that they can turn to, because their feelings and their thoughts are completely invalidated. You know, they're not allowed to have them in the first place. So I would just say, if you are one of these people who kind of has this attitude of, oh, what the fuck do they have to be depressed about? Just do yourself a favour, or do us all a favour. Go and stand in the mirror and look yourself up and down and fucking check yourself and then change your attitude, because you're not helping. You're just creating another fucking problem in the mental health industry, you know? My mum always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, and this absolutely applies to you. Just keep your mouth shut, you know? Don't make snide little comments about it. Everybody has their own battles. In fact, I'm sure even you have experienced mental health issues in the past. You just don't even know it, or you won't admit it. If you do care, ask the question, hey, what's going on? You know, do you want to go for a coffee? Do you want to go for a walk? Do you need somebody to talk to? To be honest, more often than not, when people say to me, do you want to talk? I'm like, that, not really, you know. But you never know. One day, some different person may ask me, and I might think, actually, do you know what? That would really help today. I would quite like to unpack some stuff today. You know, just don't be part of the problem. Be part of the resolve. This is something that collectively, you know, we need to pull together and work together and really start to chip away at this and give people, you know, a voice and an outlet, somewhere that they can, you know, be heard, be validated. You know, if you're suffering with mental health, that doesn't make you any less of a person than somebody who is not suffering from mental health. You know, it doesn't make you any less of a person than somebody who has a physical disability or a physical disease like cancer. You know, your struggles are absolutely valid. Absolutely valid. They're shit, but they're valid. You know, and I have a passion to help, and I'm sure, well, I'll be honest with you, I've been so blown away by the response to this podcast. I know that there are actually hundreds of people who have just contacted me who want to help. There's loads of people out there who want to help. So, you know, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, I think it just probably is still a little bit too far away at the moment. We need to work to pull the light in a bit closer. So, yeah, I think the answer to the question, what the fuck do you have to be depressed about? The answer is, what the hell has it got to do with you? If that's going to be your attitude, I don't want to tell you anyway. You know, so let's work to perhaps change that attitude towards those who are suffering with mental health. And, you know, hopefully if we can do that, there'll be another positive change and another small step towards ensuring that people who are suffering with mental health issues know that they can get the help and support and love that they need to pull them through it and get them out on the other side. All right, folks. If you like this episode, if you got anything from it, if you could like and subscribe, then that would be really helpful. Just helps us to get our reach out there a little bit further and hopefully help a few more people. So thank you for watching or listening, wherever you're hearing this from, and I'll see you soon.